Morning, everybody. And just when I thought that I had everything set up, I need to get up for a second because I think my camera is in a different position from last night's class. Exactly. I gotta move it a little bit. Still not seeing the floor, eh? And that's why. Hang tight, gang. There we go. Oh, you get to see the mess. But life is messy, is it not? Don't you love how you just do a little tilt of an angle and our perspective can change? How profound. So good morning. I hope everyone is well. We'll get ourselves comfy. I'm Belinda, and I'm with Just Be Yoga, and we're here for our home yoga practice live. Wednesday? I almost said Tuesday. Wednesday, July 1. Whew, here we are. What a beautiful morning. Beautiful summer morning. Definitely feeling the heat of summer here in Michigan. Don't know where everyone is piping in from, but I know. Isn't it a great morning, Claudia? Good morning. And hey, Joe. I know I always just see Claudia's name, and so I'm just going to assume that Joe's there too. Puma has decided she's going to join us for practice today, so let's hope that she doesn't slay me. All right. Welcome, Home Yoga Practice Live here at Just Be Yoga on our YouTube channel and our Facebook channel, Facebook Live, sorry. If you are new, please just join, follow along as best you can. And if you like what we're doing and you want to know more, check out the justbeyoga.com blog. And I'm starting to kind of cultivate in like what week 1 was, what week 2 was, kind of looking at how we're kind of building a bit of a program of how to develop your personal yoga practice. So if you're interested in some of the steps that we've been taking, you can look back also on the playlists here. But don't feel pressured to have to be like signing up for some program. We're not a cult, and you're not pressured to have to do anything. But if you just want to hang out for today, that's good too. All right. If you are joining and you've been working on your plan, make sure you've got your plan nearby, maybe a journal. Just kind of re-familiarize yourself with what is my practice about this week. We'll take a moment and check in with our bodies. Feel how it's feeling. Where are we carrying some excess baggage? And then check in with your breath. So just feel the breath. Notice, is it stuttered? Is it stuck? Is it in a rush? Is it shallow? Don't try to fix it. And observe, if you've got the mindset of, I've got to fix something. Just accept and feel what's going on. And check in with your mind. Feel the busyness or emptiness of your mind. And I mentioned acceptance. Good morning, Puma. She's not quite stealing the show. Good morning, Kathy. All right, I mentioned acceptance, and acceptance is kind of a thematic throughout this week. So maybe overlay that as a part of your plan, your intention for being on your mat today, accepting what is, accepting the truth of what is going on, noticing even our own resistance to acceptance in a yogic sense. Acceptance is a part of the niyamas, a limb of yoga that's about how we carry ourselves, comport ourselves, how we treat ourselves. And contentment is that limb. And contentment is hard, right? Especially in the era of our times right now. Who wants to accept pandemic, right? But what choice do we have? actually. So we can feel that out when we're in various postures. Maybe if we're falling over or if something feels super tight, we can fight against it, but how's that going to work out for us? And how do we start to embody a mindset of acceptance and body behaviors and reactions that are accepting? And how does that bring us some equilibrium, or can we allow that? And then lastly, if you're new to this week, binds are an aspect that we'll be adding in. Hopefully you've come with your 2 or 3 postures that you want to work on this week. And I'll maybe cue a few times where you might want to add that in. Please add them in anytime you want. But I will be adding in and exploring various postures that involve binds that have us start to explore what makes us feel stuck and what makes us feel free. Mana eva manushanayam karanam bandha mokshayoho is a Sanskrit mantra that says if you feel bound, you're already bound. And if you feel free, you're free. Why don't we start today standing? The day is an empowering day, so we might build a little heat. I'll try to remember to offer various modifications and variations for anything that may be going on for various body parts. But please listen to your body and your inner wisdom and take out what doesn't work for you. Add in what does. All right, let's find a way of standing on our mat. Your legs could be apart or together. Maybe let the dust settle from everything I just said. And invite ourselves to arrive on our mat and in ourselves in a sensing way, not a thinking way. Feel your legs, maybe open the toes, spread the toes wide. Feel the feet supporting you. You could squeeze some muscles in your legs and let them go, just to wake up your awareness of being in your legs. Maybe a few pelvic tilts forward and back, feeling out your pelvic bowl and then settling into a space where we're not thrusting the tailbone back nor super scooping it under. Do you know balance and equilibrium in your own hip? Activate your core to lift you up. Don't suck in the tummy. We're just pulling the muscles in to hold us, to bind us together. And then grow tall through the back of the neck. We'll breathe in and lengthen upward. Exhale, forward fold. Your knees can be soft. Allow the upper body to hang. Come into feeling that physical body and accept and invite the weight of the body to hang. Slowly rolling the spine upward, lifting our head last. Breathing in, lengthening, shoulders down. Exhale, forward fold. Now let's start to just roll the spine up. Be aware of your bones and your flesh feeling. Feel sensation. Feel the sensation of actively growing tall toward that sky. Exhale, forward fold, bowing down into the earth. Making your way. Find a pace that's yours now. Remember, we're here for all of us to explore and develop our personal practice. So you don't have to keep up with any cadence of mine. Start to tap into listening to your own cadence, your own rhythm. Let it vary. If you don't know, just start to maybe slow something down. Maybe speed something up and check in. Did I enjoy that? Does that bring me peace, or is it giving me anxiety? Good. And then we'll lengthen upward, and if you wish, you could bring your hands together, bringing them to a clasp of some sort. You could bind all of the hands. You could have the index fingers going up into this Vajra Mudra, inviting a bind if you want. Gentle side bend. Noticing now, what does the bind do for us? What is it exacerbating, amplifying? What is it setting free? Breath in and lift. Exhale over to the other side. Now feel free if you're finding this class and it's creating some imbalance in you, you can let that go. Play, feel, explore. Breath in, invite that body wisdom. Exhale, hinging it forward. Hands to the floor or a block. And we'll step that right leg back, staying on the back toes. Bring that right hand down, maybe on a block. That brings the floor a little higher to us. Twisting it open. Now that left hand could rest on your hip. Breath in. Breath out. What are your feet telling you? What are each toes telling you? How active can you be in letting the hips release so that the legs can give us that support? Feel your breath. Practice your yoga plan. Bringing the left hand down, stepping that right foot up, trading it out. Notice how you're moving. Feel the length of the legs your body wants to support. We're here to communicate and collaborate with our bodies, not dominate. And revolve. Breath. What needs to be doing the most work? Maybe the legs. How about the chest? Can it find freedom to revolve? Even that left hand down is a form of a bind, giving us connection to clench, clasp, torque. Good. We'll bring the right hand down, left knee down, stepping that right knee back. Find the version of plank you want. Breath in. Exhale, lower yourselves to your bellies. Inhale, cobra. Can you keep the hips down? Offer the chest. Accept the limitation of movement in your spine. Exhale, down dog, tucking the toes, butt goes up, head goes down. Now you could have your knees soft if you wish. Allow sound, air, sight, touch. What's touching your skin? What is your skin telling you? Good. We're going to make our way to the top of the mat. You could bring a knee down first and step the foot up, or you could just take a giant step up. Choose where you can do it with the most mindful, balanced, peaceful way of moving. Half flat back, breath in. Forward fold, breath out. Bending the knees, sinking the butt back, lifting the chest. So if your feet are apart, knees are apart. If the feet are together, knees together. Give yourselves the support you need. Pull the butt back from the low pelvis, chest up, weights in the heels, serenity and acceptance. But first, are we observing? Remember the elements. We make the plan, set the intention. Commit to a certain amount of time and observe. Observe what is going on in the physical body, in the breath body, in our mental body. Inhale all the way up. Reach. Make a choice about that bind or no. Exhale. Breath in. Maybe your own cadence. Exhale. What's lengthening? What's rooting? Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Notice your spine. Hands to the floor or a block, stepping the right foot back. Maybe the body is warming up, so you might want to work the foot back a little bit more. New edge, new discovery. You could bring your hands to the left knee and make your way up. Notice how you moved in the body. Did you rush? Did your thoughts get ahead of the activation? We got to have everything working together. Breath in, maybe finding that bind, maybe not. Hands down, right hand down, involve your twist, breath. Be in the back leg, be in your hips, be in your breath, be in your chest. What can we feel? What can we grow in awareness of? Left hand down. When you're ready, step that right foot up, trading it out to step the left leg back. Feel out this side. Let it communicate with you. Don't ask it to be the other side. Make your way up, maybe giving yourself support, maybe asking that core stability to come upright, or testing to see if it wants to. Quiet your mind, hear your thoughts. Don't try to shut them out. Notice the busyness in the body, in the breath, in the mind. Can they start to settle in and meet each other where they are? Breath in, maybe your bind, maybe not. Hands down, left hand down, revolve. Breath. Are you in that back leg, or are you just kind of hanging out in these legs? Are you just waiting for something to be over? What are you practicing? Both hands down. We're going to step to plank. You choose your plank. Breath. Lowering down, patient, breathing out. Feel each piece. Be present. Learn. Breath in. Cobra. Offering the heart, not forcing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Making your way up to the top of your mat. Choose what is mindful and correct for you in this moment. Half flat back breath in. Forward fold, release. We're going to bend the knees, sink the butt back, and like we did yesterday, we involved a bind. We incorporated a bind in our chair, wrapping the arms behind the knees, sinking into the stability of those legs, and then activating that core to pull, pull. Ooh, what are we still connected with? Are you connected with pressing your feet down? Where's the freedom in this bind? Breath. Good. We're going to release the arms. Find your chair. Your hands can be a prayer. Maybe you're reaching. Choose the comfort for you. Ease and steadiness. Coming all the way up. Breath in. Side bend. Choosing maybe a clasp, maybe not. Inhale. Exhale over to the other side. Breath in. And forward fold. Half flat back, breath in. Now maybe bring a block down beneath your face so that your hands are resting there. See if you can lengthen your spine with intention forward. Feel the muscles in your rib cage, around your waist, giving you solidity and stability. Rock forward and back in the feet and the hands. Where are we? Acceptance of what is. We'll root that left hand down, twist. Can we still lengthen the spine, or did we dump in the spine? Did we collapse? Switching it out, right hand down, rooting on the block or the floor, and twist. What is the state of our support? Are you distributing the weight evenly in the palm or in one section of the palm? Where is your mind? Where is your breath? And release, forward fold. Hands to the floor. We're going to step the right leg back, choosing that length. We've got a bit of familiarity, kind of feeling that we know where we're going. Notice how that even changes our relationship to practice. when we feel as though we know versus when we are confronting what we don't know. Pushing that back leg back, sitting up tall. Remember, time is an element of our practice, duration. Because with the elapsing of time, what became familiar becomes unfamiliar when we have new levels of time. I go looking at the camera and knocking myself off, right? I took my focus out. Now we're going to go into that twist. You can bring the hand to the floor, or if you're wishing to explore this, a bind, bringing the elbow outside of this knee. But I'm going to encourage the length and the space through the side of the waist, through the ribs, and then see if that elbow wants to come outside. I do not recommend lotioning if you're wearing shorts and have a lot of bare skin beforehand. Breath. Now, if you've already tried to come into this form of the bind, remember, if you feel bound, you are bound. If you feel free, you are free. Now, that doesn't mean suck it up. So, do you have freedom of breath, freedom of mind, or are you in a space of forcing? And you could find more freedom by bringing that hand down. Both hands down. Choose. Accept what is, not what we're wanting. And bring that back leg up. Half flat back breath in. Forward fold, let it go. We'll step the other leg back. Feel that out. Are you lengthening this stride? Except that we're in a whole new moment. Spread the toes. Be present in your feet. Thank your ankles. Making our way up for our crescent warrior here. Maybe you need that left knee down. Accept our limitations, but the limitations don't have to be obstacles to us practicing. Doesn't have to mean stop. Doesn't have to mean quit. Modify. Staying committed to, I want to be connected. I want to feel. Feel that heat building. Accepting that we're carbon-based life forms. And we're warm-blooded mammals. Feel that heat. Be grateful. Be grateful for, a cooling system. This sweat helps us cool our bodies. All right, so we're going to make a choice. Maybe that hand comes to the floor. Maybe practicing lengthening. Now, there's a lot that can get in the way of this bind, right? The amount of flesh that we have, the amount of tension around our flesh. Doesn't mean that we're bad at something. Doesn't mean that I'm awesome at something being right here. You don't know. I could be forcing myself into something excruciating and faking it on my face. So don't model your practice against how someone else is looking. Feel it. What are your hips telling you? What are your legs telling you? Watch your breath, your lungs, your belly telling you. Can you find peace? God. We'll bring those hands down. We're going to step to plank. Take your time. Feel each piece. Maybe say, can I just lift this foot straight up and feel the working of that? And if the mind went, well, that sucked, that's okay. We got to learn and feel and be present with that. And lower it down. And we'll lift cobra. Try not to squeeze your buttocks. What's getting to be free here? Can we envision freedom in the chest, in the heart? Let the tummy breathe. And downward facing dog. All right, so we've talked about a couple of binds here. Standing in that extended mountain in the side bend, we bound if we wanted to try that. We bound in the chair, feeling resistance inside of us, noticing what it helped us set free in different regions of the body. And then the bind in the twisting lunge. Now, if you'd like to explore, It's going to be a lot of faith. Our head is beneath the heart. So bring some playfulness to this and some acceptance. Acceptance does require a playful attitude, I feel. And maybe play with the right hand coming to your left ankle. Where's your breath? Look at your desire versus your peace, your sattva, your balance. Equanimity more than balance. Press the heels back. Can that left arm support you and lengthen the spine? Not just support us, but give us the support to lengthen. All right, if you're abandoning that, abandon it. If you want to switch to the other side to play, play. Let's play yoga. Oftentimes saying practice starts to connote a lot of drive, a lot of objective. Play sometimes doesn't feel like it's so much of an objective, right? We just get to throw paint on the wall. So let's play yoga. Explore, feel. What are your toes telling you? What are your inner thighs telling you? What are the vertebrae in your neck telling you? And we'll bring that left hand down. Roll it forward to plank. Breath. Choose. Your knees can be down. Nipples over thumbs. Your duration of time is not my duration of time. My duration of time is not yours. If you want, you could lift one leg. Breath. Acceptance. Don't force. Say nice things in your mind. Switch legs if you're wanting. Breath. Now we're going to step one leg up wide as the mat. We'll step the other leg up wide. Now turn this way. Bend the knees. Roll the spine up. Spin on the heels outward. And sink. Now we'll try to keep the knees over the heels. So maybe walk the feet out a little wider. See if we can sink down. But we're cooperating and communicating to the ligaments and tendons in the inner thighs, in the groin, low back. Try to keep the knees over the heels. Honor all of you, your joints, your ligaments. Breath. Feel your heart beating. Maybe close your eyes. What can you let go of? Unstick something if you're feeling stuck. How can the mind help cooperate and collaborate in that endeavor? When you feel the quake and quiver, are you okay with that? What choice do we have? Acceptance. Maybe add in your pose, a pose here that you wanted to work on, to practice, to embody. If you're still in the Buddha squat and you want to straighten and sink it back down, go ahead. Sitting upright. Conduct that energy upward. What are we holding and resisting in our jaw, in our neck, in our heart? Good, and we'll straighten. I'm going to spin the feet forward to get ready for what's called Prasarita Padottanasana. All right, but we could do this with a bind. I'm working these hips a little bit because they were like, what did you just do? Hands out. If you want, you could grab a strap behind you or a towel to bring your hands together for this kind of bind. I'm going to interlace. You could also just hold a wrist And we'll send the wrists down. Right, so the bind behind me and that energy back and down is opening both sides of that chest. Good, so how's the bind creating a freedom somewhere? Don't lock the knees. Maybe hips forward and shine the heart up as you drive the wrists down. Breath. Set the breath free. Let the bind help you explore breath, or at least notice where it's helping you restrict the breath. In your time, remember, you don't have to go to my cadence. We'll come forward. All right, what can set free in the upper spine? Use the breath to expand the rib cage from the inside out. With your exhales, maybe encourage the weight of the body. Can you shift forward in the feet and back? And we'll release the arms down. If you can, without moving, we'll plant the palms down here and walk it forward to a wide-legged plank. And then notice, okay, are we afraid? Are we feeling like, what? I got to walk forward. I might fall. Ask the core in the middle of you to give you support. Good. And butt up, head down, wide-legged down dog. And forward. If you want to add more, you could bring the feet in and then walk the feet back out and up. What are we observing, especially about that center core? I'm going to bring my forearms down. Walk the legs back. Forearm plank. Pressing the heels back. You can lay down and come back into it. Duration is going to vary from person to person, from practice to practice, from day to day. Where's your breath? Where's your intention? Are we accepting what is true right now? And maybe that is your body saying, are you kidding me? And we'll lay the bellies down. Let's go ahead and have some rest, turning the head to one side. Turning the head to the other side. Feel the stillness and observe, scan your physical body here. What level of equanimity, balance, peace are we feeling? Feel your breath here. Feel the belly expanding against the mat, the floor. Getting a concept of volume and capacity. We'll walk the hands back alongside the waist. Tuck the toe. And then see if you can lift your thighs. So here my thighs are resting. I'm going to activate the legs, sending the heels back. And now my thighs are cleared, but my belly is still resting. Take a breath in. Exhale. See if you can lift to elbow height. Breath. Straight up to plank. Downward facing dog. Soften the shoulders. We're going to walk the hands back to the feet. So I suggest, especially if this is new, bend the knees first. And then just softly, backwards walk on your hands. New sensation, asking the upper body to walk us. Asking the spine to trust. And we'll roll the spine up. We're going to start with a simple bind in terms of our legs, okay? So we're going to take the left leg and cross it. Maybe that left foot, pinky toe touching pinky toe of the right foot. But if not, you could step, depends on the size of our thigh and the thickness of our thighs. You might need to step that foot forward to give us a little bit more space for that. Now see, but honor whatever you're feeling, because you can be feeling tension points along the sides of the knees, sides of the hips and thighs. See if we can aim these hips forward. So that crisscrossing, you could even squeeze inner thighs a little bit and feel that binding. Arms open wide, shape of a T. I'm going to bring that left under, right over, maybe a bear hug. So we're going to bind the upper body and the bottom body. Just feel your hips. Try to say, are my hips aiming that way? Or can I aim my hips straight forward? And then just feel. Feel your legs, your feet, your ankles supporting you. How does that support structure feel? Does it feel like you can trust it? How much sway can it support? That really lets us know about trust. If it yanks or snaps, it's not trusting the sway. As you creep the fingertips toward the midline, can you separate both shoulder blades away from one another? Where's the freedom that we're feeling? What's being set free in your hips or your sides? What's being set free in the back of your heart? Good tester gauge is our breath. Now, even if you've got one of these magical show-stopping eagle arm binds, sometimes accepting less rather than more, staying in the bear hug, can be a wonderful space to explore acceptance, observing our urge to go, but I could go here. But do you have to? Do you want to? What's driving that? Is it ego? And this isn't about shaming. We all have to confront our ego. Do we believe that there's nothing to explore in the hug? Even if it's just to accept this wonderful caress, because many of us have been missing hugs. So there's a depth in that simplicity there as well. You could play with lifting the elbows, exploring. Now, if you'd like, we could explore coming forward. All right, so we've got a bind in the crisscross of the legs. Whoa, we've got a bind in the upper body, and that feels to amplify a bit of the weight of the upper body. Different level of trust. Could you soften your low back? Could you soften the belly? Could you soften the neck? Don't try to prevent the feeling of the weight of you. Can you invite feeling the heavy weight of you sinking, releasing? Let those arms go when you're ready. Good. Now, if you want, you can just go ahead and uncross the legs, giving yourselves a solid, even base to roll the spine up, coming back to our mountain. No rush. Accept each millisecond along the way, because that's being present. Right? We don't want to lose conscious awareness on the way up and only be aware of arriving up here. Because between down there and up here, boy, that was a journey. All right, so we're ready for this other side. Take your time. Maybe use a wall for support. Feel this out, okay? Because just because of the way you had your feet positioned on the other side doesn't mean that it's going to be here. Now, some of you might be like, oh, what's this crisscross thing? I'd rather be in my eagle. All right, just like I said with the arms, feel that out. Do you need to be there? Can you stay here? What can we explore along the iliotibial band, the IT band, our gluteus medius, various aspects of what's going on in the pelvis and the hips in subtle ways. The sacrum can even get involved here, just beneath your low back, right above your tailbone. Feel your motivation. Maybe take a moment and close your eyes. Feel all the navigation that small, subtle movements, subtle muscles are doing to keep us upright. And then when you're ready, when you're feeling stable, we'll change the cross of the arms. Remember. Yeah, okay. Willing some softness, willing some trust, willing acceptance. There is something to explore. There is something to play with here. Remember, we're not thinking. We're in a sensory space. What are we sensing in between each rib? What are we sensing in the front of the chest? Armpits. Hips, groin, pelvis, genitalia. Right? And if it feels strange to even just receive those words, what? Why is she talking about genitalia? It's a part of you. We get to feel that. It's a part of us. We don't disconnect from it while we do yoga and then reconnect with it at a different time. It's a part of us. Feel it. What muscles in there need to engage to help you? Because we're connecting to all of us in our yoga. If you want to lift the elbows, go ahead. And I'm certainly not saying that if you have an eagle and maybe you've never explored it, that you want to feel it here, go ahead. Can the spine continue to grow tall? Can you let upward intention really be a part of that focus? Yeah, I do get that song in my head. I wish it was a little bit taller. I wish it was a baller. That's me. When you're ready, maybe lift. Maybe feel the back bend. Feel the legs. Ooh, feel the waist and the low belly here. Yum. And hinge. Take your time. So you could have been at your full eagle in the legs or a different expression of eagle. What are the thighs doing? Knees doing? Shins. Sides of the ribs and waist. Where's your mind? Releasing the arms when we're ready. Uncrossing the legs. We'll make our way down to a seated space. I'm just scooching up because I think I might have missed a comment. Yay, Claudia, good. All right. We'll lengthen the legs out in front of us. We are eventually going to be doing that hinging fold. So if you know that your hamstrings are super duper tight, maybe start with your legs wide or your knees bent. Thank you so much. I'm seeing a comment. All right. So everyone is here to explore their bodies, their practice. So maybe we need to start here. Maybe here. You could always, after a few repetitions, start to bring the legs in a little closer. But just know that inner thighs together, legs extended, may be the most intense experience. And we're finding that sattva, we're finding that balance, that equilibrium, okay? So we're not here for no pain, no gain. We got nothing to prove. Meet yourselves where you are. I'm going to separate my legs a little, engage the thighs, And lift the chest. Pull, activate your core belly to pull it toward the back of the spine, or at least imagine it. Feel the working. And you probably have to engage and disengage and engage and disengage and go, wow, why can't I hold that long? And then we get to observe our mind. If you can find a playful thought space here, share it with me. Breath. Pressing the backs of the legs down, lifting up through the front of the chest. Unguarded, completely open and vulnerable, confident. So much room for breath, so can we do that? If we've got the space, can we use it? Will we occupy it with our breath, with our intention? Let it seep into us. And hinge forward. Now your hands could rest on your shins, knees, and just pull the spine forward. Now you can choose to be very active here, trying to have a nice flat spine, especially if some of you are coming from a very alignment-based practice. You could stay here, actively squeezing the legs, energetically drawing the chest forward and feel all of that work. Or you could practice letting it go. There's no cardinal sin. And maybe if you've always been in a rigid, very, very rigid practice, giving yourselves permission now and again to be in a floopy, droopy practice, there's some awesome acceptance in there. There's some awesome connection in there. Fill up the belly with breath. Now the binding that can go on here, you could find the big toes with your peace fingers and thumbs. You could bring a strap to the bottoms of the feet. Some of you are able to slide the palms onto the soles of the feet, pulling the chest up and lengthening. But remember, we don't want the bind to make us feel stuck. We want the bind, we want to encourage the bind and our practicing of it to help us find a space of freedom. So what's being set free here? In the body, some region, some area, some ligament. What's being set free in your breath? What's being set free in the mind? Gradually coming up. I love to involve deliberate touch and caress along the way, stimulating sense of touch and awareness. I'm going to bring one leg in, hands behind me. Okay, so we're going to do an Ardha Purvo Tanasana, half Purvo. So your hands could also be on a block back here, trying to give the spine support. I'm going to point the toe of the straight leg. Press down through the heel of the straight leg. Use the bent leg foot to thrust the hips up. Ask those arms, stand in them. They are new legs. Your gaze could be down toward the knee so as not to strain the neck. Breath. If you wish, you could lift that extended leg. You don't have to wish. You could have started the wish and back away from the wish. Breath. And bring that leg down. Bring the butt down. We can wrap. This is my left arm, my right leg bent. Wrapping that left arm around that knee. Right hand for support, spine up. Because of time, I'm going to offer here, same deal, just like when we did in the twisting lunge, that if you wanted to start to explore a bind, lift, reach, crossing the body. And as I said, a lot can really impede that. The girth of our bellies, the girth of our thighs. We could widen the stance a little bit with the leg, wiggling it to make more space. But there may be a level of acceptance we need to have about the shape of our bodies. And there's going to be other aspects that give that body a superpower. Doing this bind with this elbow out is not my superpower. Doesn't make me better. I don't have an advanced practice. All that blah, blah, blah bullshit. Where's your breath? What's moving in the spine? What's getting stuck? Ask that breath to help you find freedom here. Maybe switch it back to here. Ease and steadiness. I'm going to release, and I'm going to switch that out. Lengthen. Actually, let's have a nice little intermission here. Coming back to Dandasana, the staff posture. Feeling that engagement. Unimpeded and free in the spine, unimpeded and free in the legs, rooted and lifting. So much acceptance in the simplicity and the strength right here. Maybe lifting, maybe not. Your hands could stay right here. Bringing that Anjali Mudra, coming together, binding into our heart. When you're ready, we'll breathe in and lengthen. Choose the distance apart of the legs. Choose if the knees are soft or straight. Choose whether you're active in the spine or whether you're giving yourself ease and surrender. Choose whether you're binding to the bottoms of those feet or no. If you always bind, maybe switch up your pattern. If you never bind, maybe switch up your pattern and practice and observe and breathe and savor that breath. Follow its travels on your inner landscape. What is your breath touching? What is your breath setting free? What is your breath breathing new life into within you? And we'll bring ourselves up or stay. I'm going to bring this left leg in. Going for that half purvo once again. Pointing. Press and lift. Breath in. Breath out. You could stay right here. You could come down whenever you need, whenever you're ready. You are practicing your practice. Right now, ask yourself, what am I practicing? Can I just do that thing? Can I mean it? Not in force, but focus. Breath. And lowering down, mindfully, deliberately, intentionally. Either wrapping that right arm around that knee. Perhaps you're exploring finding length through the waist, through the ribs, through the armpit. Breath in as we lift the spine upward, always aspiring spiritually upward. Exhale, revolving from the base of the spine, from that solid root. Unsticking, bringing freedom. Let the twist bring the freedom. Let the breath bring the freedom, not the force. And we'll gradually release. Let's go ahead and walk the legs out toward the front of the mat. Lying ourselves down on our back. All right. So I am going to talk through two spaces, and you kind of choose what's good for you. If you want to do your any posture that you've already chosen that's a reclining posture in your practice, go for it. Do it. Yay. If you want to do a bridge, we can do a bridge with no bind, just lifting the hips, feet a few inches apart, knees a few inches apart. sitting and observing. Maybe we're lifting and shimmying shoulders together, perhaps finding a clasp. If the clasp doesn't come easily, do we find ourselves struggling to try to get the clasp, forcing something rather than accepting? Some of you may wish to explore a different kind of bind after we lift into the hips. Listen, however, walking the hands under the heel. Don't walk the heel under the hands. Bringing the shoulder blades closer together to free the chest. Sliding the hands under the heels to free the hips. Equal amount of pressure, lifting the chin so that the spine, the cervical spine, the neck is free. Unsqueeze your buttocks, free your low back. Breath. Quiet your mind. When all else fails, just feel your senses. What can I smell? What can I hear? What can I feel on my skin? And we'll lower ourselves down. Actually, I think that's going to be it. If there's other postures that you want to explore, go ahead. But I'm going to allow for a bit of time for Shavas. So we could lengthen the legs out, lying down flat on our back. That's often a little agitating for the low back for some of us. So you could always keep your knees bent. That takes some pressure out. Maybe bottoms of the feet together, knees open. That might alleviate some of that. You could also swing your legs up onto your sofa or up against a wall. So the point of Shavasana, a wakeful, mindful stillness, occupying our body with our awareness, not with our action. Occupying in-body breath. With an ease, with an acceptance of consciousness. Eyes can be open, but the eyelids can be heavy. It's a great way to stay awake. Perhaps scan the body from the top of the head all the way down the spine, progressively. And notice what is going on behind your earlobes, in the muscles of your jaw and your cheeks, the folds of skin in your neck, your windpipe, skin on the back of your neck. What's the second rib beneath your collarbone doing or saying to you? The ring finger of one hand. Can you feel all of the skin wrapping around that finger? Can we fully occupy our physical existence with our awareness? And the inside of the body deserves our attention. Can you envision your heart? Can you feel it? Can you see it pulsing? Can you accept what you can't feel right now? However you wish to mindfully reawaken movement, reintroduce movement. Take your time, your expression, your playfulness of yoga. Eventually bringing ourselves up to a comfortable seated space. And you could be sitting with your legs out in front of you. You could be sitting in a chair. All right. Just because Belinda finds it comfortable to hang out in half lotus doesn't mean that that's your comfort zone. So long as my knees and my hips are continuing to accept this pose, I'm like, yay. Oh, thank you so much, Gaia. How wonderfully sweet of you. All right, I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga. This has been our home yoga practice live. This is less of a yoga class, and I guess more of an attempt to try to introduce methods and tips and ways to explore developing your own personal yoga practice. If you're new and you want to explore more about what I'm talking about, check out our blog at justbeyoga.com, as well as our playlists here, looking at how to set a practice plan, and then how to plan your practice and bring that mindful intention to it. If you'd like to join for a single Om, connecting our mind to our breath, letting that voice of vibration come out, feel free. You could say home instead, or you could sit silently. Deep breath if you're joining. Hands to the heart center. As I said before, the Anjali Mudra. Mudras are like yoga postures for the hands. It's as though we're holding our heart gently in our hands up against our heart. So whatever the intention is that you made in your practice plan, may you hold that against your heart, close to you throughout your day, to remind you so that you're carrying your practice off the mat, because that's what it's about. Thank you all so much for joining. Namaste. Let me know if there are any questions you have about practice. I'll linger for a little bit here on the chat. I understand if you need to get going. Also, if you only grabbed a piece of this, you can hit us on replay on YouTube or on our Facebook Live playlist. I think that's really all of the announcements that I have. I think most of you know that I've stopped doing the outdoor yogas until I feel a little bit more comfortable as it regards to COVID. There are no in-person practices right now, but if you are wanting to amplify this with a private, I do offer virtual privates, half hours and hours. So feel free to look that up on our website as well, or just type something into the message and I can let you know any time zone, time spot that is available. Lots of local food is available by local gardeners and farmers. Today, Allen Street Farmers Market over on Michigan Ave. Tomorrow is the South Lansing Farmers Market. So do hit that. It's in the parking lot of St. Casimir Church on, I want to say it's Barnes, off of MLK. So in between Washington and MLK on Barnes. So, all right. Thank you all so much for joining and continuing in your practice. Several of you have sent me some emails, giving me some feedback about the development of your home yoga practice. And I'm deeply honored at what you've shared and at being able to be a part of that journey with you. All right. Ta-ta for now. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.